Hey, welcome back to DieCash Cars. So here we are 2023, knowing the full list of Super Treasure Hunts to be released for the year. The two most outstanding models that I know all collectors are most anticipating has to be the J-Case 1982 Toyota Supra, as well as the upcoming P-Case Datsun 510 wagon. And today we're going to take both of these Supers head to head to see which one is the best, which one is most fitting to be added into your collection. So let's start with the secondary market values of these cars, starting with the Toyota Supra. It is the most recent Super Treasure Hunt to be released right now at your local retail stores, with the J-Case dropping. Right now, secondary market on this car in carded form is around $120. In loose form like this, as I have, it's around that $60 price point. And then there's the unreleased Datsun 510 wagon in this fuchsia pink. We won't be seeing this car until later this year in the P case, which by my guess would be around that October-November timeframe until we'd start seeing it in retail stores. So the only way you can get this car is through the black market, backdoor Super Treasure Hunts, direct from Mattel in Malaysia. Right now, secondary market reflects that. Right now, sitting in that $180 price point, which is astronomical. Even in loose form like this, you're looking to pay about $90 to $100 right now. So based on those values, you could say that the Datsun 510 is more desirable, but again, I think that's just purely due to the fact that we cannot get them by the normal means, going to Walmarts, going to Targets, and picking them off the pegs. So because of the exclusivity right now, that is why the Datsun 510 costs more on the secondary market, but I wouldn't say that's a clear determining factor which one of these supers is better. We really won't know that until later this year when they're both on the pegs to where we can pick them up. I think that'll really set what the true secondary market value should be. So from a value standpoint, I would say it is a no contest at this moment because, again, we don't have all the facts and figures. Okay, so what if we look at the value of these Supers predecessors to see how they're doing on the secondary market, starting with the Datsun 510 wagon released in 2014. A lot of significance around this Super Treasure Hunt, which makes it very sought after among collectors, mainly being designed by Junimai and inspired by Junimai's actual car. Right now, secondary market reflects that significance, sitting in that $220 price point. And then you got the 2015 release of the Toyota Supra, the Mark IV Supra. Right now, secondary market sitting in that $100 price point. I mean, both of these predecessors to these Supers right now, they're both only about a year apart in release. They're both Spectra Flame Red, but there's about $120 difference right now on the secondary market between them. But I'll honestly have to say this is a no contest because it's not a very like for like comparison. I mean, you got a different generation for the Toyota Supra. The 510s are the same models, but then there's just more significance to the actual design and scheme of the original Super Treasure Hunt for the 510 wagon versus the new one. And then obviously the 1982 Supra, I mean, that is technically a first edition, being a Super Treasure Hunt for the first year. So overall, there's just a different dynamic where I don't think you can compare values of these supers in order to determine which one is the better super. So never before done on this channel, we're going to compare these cars on something other than value to determine which one is the better car. So starting with the Datsun 510, I would say that this car is definitely going to be the flashier, more eye-catching car. I mean, just look at those graphics. I know a lot of you guys are kind of turned off by such busy graphics like this, but it kind of works on this car, to be perfectly honest. I know you got the heart shapes and the giant thunderbolts here on the top, but it really just flows. And I think this is the first time we've ever seen these Real Riders 4-spoke, but white with a pink lip. I mean, that's just unheard of when it comes to any of the Supers that have been released to this point. So definitely the most visual and striking Super of both of these. But then I think one could argue that the 82 Supra is definitely the more aggressive and cleaner cast, cleaner release. I mean, if I saw this car in real life, I would give it a lot of props. It definitely would get a lot more street cred. And I mean, talk about attitude. The single winking headlight in the front there, guys, that's a hard one. Aesthetically, I think it's another wash when it comes to both of these supers. I mean, they both look good in their own way. Alright, so we got a no contest when it comes to value, and we got a draw when it comes to the overall aesthetics of the cars. I mean, maybe it's a pound for pound type of situation. Let's get these cars weighed to see which one weighs more. I mean, maybe the more material, the better. So we got 1.3 ounces on the Toyota Supra. And if I was a betting man, I would almost say the Datsun 510, I mean, being a wagon form and being such a large diecast, it's got to weigh heavier, right? So 1.1 ounce. That's the weight to beat. Everybody holding their breath. Huh, they both weigh the same. So maybe that is a myth busted. Maybe all diecasts weigh about the same, at least the supers with the Real Riders and the Spectre Flame paint. Both of these supers weighing in at 1.3, so we got another draw. Okay guys, last resort to determine which one of these super treasure hunts is the best for 2023. We're going to take them down the orange track. We're going to go old school, unlocking the inner child in me, and we're going to give these guys a race to see which one is the best super for 2023. So here we go. And there you guys have it, the undisputed winner of today's contest, the 1982 Toyota Supra. And coincidentally, this is honestly my pick for the best super for 2023. I've actually talked about it before, so those of you that watch my channel, you guys probably knew that this was going to be the winner for today. It just has so much more attitude from a Hot Wheels cast standpoint. I mean, the red, the black, I mean, it's so reminiscent of what this car would have looked like in real life. I mean, the casting, they just added so much more detail to it. I mean, just look at that rear bumper. Look at how they captured all those details, the emblems in gold. You got the TH logo there. I don't even mind the chrome wheels. I mean, overall, it just looks great. I mean, how could you not like that winking headlight there? And obviously, it's a first edition. I mean, one of the best new remodels here for 2023. So hands down, this is your winner. And don't get me wrong, guys, the Datsun 510 wagon is no slouch. I mean, it is a great looking super treasure hunt. Once you guys get it in hand, you'll see this fuchsia pink is actually pretty striking. The graphics really just flow with it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. Kind of looks like if Barbie had a bunch of kids. I mean, this is probably what she would drive around in. But nonetheless, it's still a Datsun 510. If you're a completist, you're going to have to pick this one up. It's a great compliment to the original Datsun 510 Super Treasure Hunt. Again, I really do like these Real Riders. It really complements the car well. I'm glad they didn't go with some off-the-shelf chrome 6-spoke rims or something like that. So definitely still a force to be reckoned with when it comes to super treasure hunts, but hands down, I think the better release and execution was the 82 Toyota Supra. Oh man, look at that. Looks like we got a new challenger, the EK9 Civic Type R from 2022, still one of my all-time favorite super treasure hunts. So how does this stack up to the 2023 releases? You got the Datsun 510, the 1982 Supra. I mean, what do you guys think? Drop it in the comments which one you feel is the better of these three super treasure hunts. Again, very JDM bias. I know there's a lot of other really cool Porsches and other supers that have come out in the last 2 years, but on this channel, you guys know I'm very JDM bias. If I really had to say, guys, I'd still go with the Golden Nugget, the EK9, the Civic Type R. I mean, hands down, one of the best supers of all time. Even better than the first edition 82 Supra. But just for kicks, guys, let's run these down the track to see which one is faster. And it just proves my point, the EK9 just a nose quicker than the Supra. And like I said, guys, my favorite Supra of these three right here from the last 2 years. I mean, how can you say no to that? So even a year later, 15 Supers in a new year later, and still the best Supra that we've seen in quite some time. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Which one of these three would you pick out of the 2023 Supers? Which one would you pick? Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.